Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again, and thanks for checking out the video. Today we're going to be talking about red dots on pistols. Let's get into it. I know I haven't really mentioned this in the past few videos that I've uploaded since I've kind of come back to YouTube, but I actually got a new phone which has a new camera and a new processor and all that stuff, and it makes the videos look a little bit better. I mean, not a lot better, but every little bit counts, right? You go on Instagram or you go on any social media site, YouTube, Instagram, and any of that fun stuff. A lot of people got red dots on pistols, and even manufacturers are kind of noticing the trends and just basically shipping guns with plate systems or anything like that, all ready to go for your red dot. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's still a little bit cost prohibitive, but with brands like Holosun, I think they make a very good product. Generally speaking, I've used kind of the T2 and the T1 kind of model rip-off kind of things, and those are, I've never had any issues with those. So we're going to talk a little bit about it, but I do want to preface this that this is kind of coming from a person with a lot of inexperience, but I'm just kind of leveraging my inexperience to hopefully help people out that are kind of getting into it about what my experience has been like trying to find stuff for this and kind of go from there. And maybe my inexperience will help you out so you don't have, any bad experiences, so to speak. So a lot of companies are already shipping guns with kind of the million possibilities, either with a plate system or something similar to the new Springfield gun, which I just came out, the Echelon, which is terrible, by the way, but whatever. I haven't shot it, I just played with it. I'm not really impressed, but the plate mounting system is actually pretty cool. But anyway, a lot of companies are doing that now. This is not a Glock MOS system or anything like that. This is actually just a standard Gen 5 Glock that has been cut by Jagerworks. This is kind of a big company that I've been tracking for a while. I've seen a lot of good things about them. They had maybe a Labor Day sale, something like that. And basically cost me about $100 to have my slide milled and nitrided. Some sort of sale, blah, blah, blah. On the website, it says about 4 to 8 weeks in terms of kind of a turnaround time, plus 1 to 2 for nitriding. I got it in just over like 5 weeks. But there are plenty of other companies that you can look into. I would say Jagerworks is a good place to start and then kind of go from there. Otherwise, again, you can buy a stock pistol that has some sort of system that has something in the Echelon, which is pretty cool, or just kind of like a shim or a plate system. And like I said, when actually picking out the actual red dot, like I said, Holosun makes a good one, a good bang for the buck. I would recommend everybody just kind of going out to a gun store and just kind of picking them up. One thing that I did, which is pretty cool, instead of picking them up and looking through them, because they do that, a lot of times they will have pistols, either ones that people have sold to the actual gun store, whatever it is, or a lot of times gun manufacturers will just sell it with it as like a combo deal or some shit like that. Just kind of look around, go to different gun stores. A lot of times you will find a red dot pistol with something that you're looking for. You might not find the exact Holosun, but it might be the EPS, or it might be the 507 or something like that. And then you can at least look through it, kind of check out the glass and blah, 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 and just kind of play with it and get a feel for it and see if you like it. Also, I would recommend finding your pistol, or at least a pistol with a similar grip angle, so you can know kind of what that's going to be like, drawing your pistol, so to speak. Because I've heard a lot of issues with people that are, just been using iron sights from the get-go, like me. They can't find the dot when they put the pistol in. I've never had that issue, so I'm kind of confused why. I don't know if it was just I have a good presentation and stuff like that, and the dot was just there. Yeah, I don't really know. So it could be a variety of factors, but I would recommend finding the dot with your pistol for that grip angle to see if you can if it's gonna work for you. Usually if you got a good presentation and stuff like that, the dot's gonna be there. I don't know. I got a couple of pictures of me. I got one that's when I was in better shape. It goes right on there. Here, I'll even put it in here. We'll do a little dry practice real quick. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if it's me just having a good draw, or I don't know. And a lot of people, I think too, the problem is, from what I've heard, people try to look for the dot. They'll put it on something there, where's that fucker kind of thing. But usually what I've noticed, if I just look at the thing, and this is the big, huge benefit with a dot on your gun, is that when you put it out, you just put the dot on the target. You never really have to take your eyes off target, which is pretty cool. Also, on top of that, this is kind of rambly, I apologize. In terms of choosing what dot, like I said, this is the 509. There are different other ones. This is the fully enclosed one. I like the fully enclosed one just because, one, it's fully enclosed. And two, it gives you kind of and maybe this might help with the presentation, it gives you kind of a tube to look through. So a lot of the RMR style ones where it's just a projection, it's just one pane of glass and you can kind of, look around. But if you have two panes of glass, you kind of have to line them up, so to speak. And I think that actually helps with presentation, because if I point my gun out and I see a little bit of the inside of the optic, if that makes sense, the actual metal wall of the optic, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not pointing straight, and it helps me kind of correct. So I think that may help too. Though I'm not 100% sure, but that's just kind of what I found. Any sort of enclosed, you get a little bit of a tube effect if you're off center a little bit, and the dot is right there. And just like I said, yeah, I can get my dot pretty much on target every single time I draw, but doing a lot of dry practice with these things, yeah, it does come off a target sometimes, or you do a really fast reload, you punch out, the dot is not quite centered, it's either on the far right, far left, or it's not even in the glass, in which case it's kind of a pain in the butt to try to find it. One thing you may notice about this pistol is that it doesn't have any of the sights. If you send it to Jagerworks and you don't put any other stock sights in there or replacement sights, they're just gonna leave them off. I have not put them back on. Honestly, kind of a big fan of it. One thing that I've noticed is a lot of people want to put kind of suppressor height sights or anything where they can co-witness. The problem with co-witnessing to me is that it completely negates the point of having a dot. I want to put my pistol out there and see nothing but dot, at least in my opinion. So I'm trying this and I'm going to see how it is. If there is an issue, maybe just put the front sight on and leave the back sight off, so then at least it has basically a huge fucking ghost ring for you to use too. And honestly, I haven't really tried it yet, within 25 yards, I don't know, you might be able to get hits anyway on it. So that's just kind of what I found. Now, the interesting thing is going back to iron sights. Now, there's a very weird effect that when you play around with a dot pistol and you go back to an iron sight gun, it seems like my eyes pick up the iron sights a little bit more, and they're almost like perfect every single time. It's the weirdest fucking effect. I've heard this from a few people that says shooting dots make them better at shooting irons. I don't know what that is. I think your presentation has to be so perfect in order to see that dot every single time that it just drives home when you use an iron sight. So that's kind of fucking weird. Now, there's also the perceived perception, I guess, of being more inaccurate with a dot. So when I punch out, like I said, find the dot, you will notice the dot just bounces like this. You do a normal iron sight pistol, you punch it out, and that fucker, it feels like a weird, almost like it's floating in there in space and it's frozen in time sort of thing, relative to the actual dot. And that obviously just because the dot is a lot more sensitive in terms of feeling that movement, and your eyes can obviously pick that up a lot more. So there's a little bit of that at play as well, which makes you feel like you're not going to be quite as accurate. But iron sights are still faster, and honestly they feel a lot faster after you play with a red dot pistol. Now, where it really shines is transitions. Even in dry fire practice, just going from target to target to target, all you have to do is look at it, put the dot on it, and then it's just, it's insanely faster. And like I said, the best thing is you don't actually have to take your eyes off target. This one you kind of have to do, if it's a small target, you kind of have to do that focal shift where it's like, all right, I'm on this target, eyes go to that target, I see target, I kind of get like a fuzzy picture with my iron sights, go to my irons, they're crisp, target is fuzzy, and then shoot, and then do that whole thing. With the dot, just target, and then just overlay the dot every single time. It's a lot quicker, and it's a lot more, I would say, gunfighter friendly, if you want to use that term. But one thing that I was also going to say, and this was another thing that it's kind of annoying, it's the same shit, people, with about getting into night vision. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I want to get into night vision. You look at the price of night vision, it's like, oh, goddamn, that's rough, but I can do it. And then you're like, oh yeah, I need a fucking mount, and then I need a helmet, and then I need a laser device, and before you know it, you're at like $10,000. So it's that sort of thing, but just on a much, much lower price scale. To get into a red dot pistol game and all that fun stuff, obviously you need a pistol, you need a red dot. You need to have it milled, or you need to have it from the factory in order to be able to accept this. But what you also need to remember is you need a holster system that will allow it. Love G-Card, but they are making holsters now that do accept it, but obviously I'm not going to start hacking on this with a, you know, some sort of Sawzall or anything like that. Not a Sawzall, what the fuck are they? A little Dremel tool or anything like that, just because I just like this holster a lot, and it works, and again, it's been my main holster. This setup right here has been at least 10 years with me, so I really appreciate its company, and I don't want to fuck it up. But for this one, this is going to be sort of the fighting pistol, I guess, whatever. This one I have been trying to support on the side. So what I've actually gone and done is gotten a new pistol holster, fun stuff, and this is I forgot what they call this, but this is the T-Rex Arms holster with the little wing that has a little hinge mechanism, so you can put different attachment points in this thing. This is kind of a fun holster. I will be doing a review of this I don't know, some point. So yeah, you need a holster that has a cutaway so you can put your optic into the thing, because obviously if I try to do with that on this one, it's just gonna hit the Kydex. So that is pretty much it. I don't recall anything else that I was gonna talk about this, but I mean, I think it's a cool system, and it's cool that everybody's sort of adopting it, not only culturally and stuff like that, but just kind of the market in general, just sort of leaning toward that as kind of the primary sight system for pistols, which is pretty cool. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll be posting some updates as I kind of play with it a lot more and get more time behind it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, liking, watching the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's a few links down below that you can do that in. Other than that, be good, guys.